Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, let me get reactions. I'm so excited for this evening session. Oh, hi.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah. So hi. Leo, are you there? Good evening.
Hey guys, thank you for having me. I'm Leo. For anybody that doesn't know, I'm one of the co-founder of Blueshift and one of the co-founder of Reflect. But today, Reflect is not important. We're gonna mainly talk about Blueshift. So what we do at Blueshift is to actually create educational material for everybody, not from people that already know what they're doing with Solana and in general with anything that is related to Solana, but even for people that actually have a lot of knowledge already, they want to upskill themselves. Probably today, I haven't prepared any slides because I just want to, and I don't think I'm gonna take much of you guys' time. I just want really to show you how easy it is to start developing on Solana right now using the Blueshift platform. So if nobody has anything against it, I'm just gonna share my screen.
Okay, thank you. You can move on with that. Or does anyone have questions or?
I can't seems to be able to share my screen.
Oh wow, you can't share your screen.
I think you need me to give like host maybe or not host, but
Okay. Okay, let me make you the co-host of yeah. So while I'm doing that, do we have anybody that joined the morning session here today? How was it? Did we have fun? Okay.
but maybe let's start with, has anybody tried Blueshift yet?
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, that works. I feel you can interact with them while I try to do that.
Nice. So for anybody that didn't yet, I'm just gonna show you how easy it is. I'm still not able to share my screen.
Yeah, you can try it now. I made it the co-host already.
Okay, now I can. Nice. Perfect. So, yes. For anybody that hasn't looked at the Blueshift page yet, when you type blueshift.gg, you will be catapulted into this page. And pretty much, other than thanks to our designers, I think it's pretty cool. You'll see that pretty much everything we do, because don't just do education, and naturally we educated some of the top engineering in Web3 that now works at this company, but we specialize in both like educational components, both more hands-on components, and these are called courses and challenges. We're gonna see it later, but pretty much like the courses is everything that you should learn in theory to be able to then do the challenges. And the challenges are, you actually need to write the code, submit your code there, and you can claim your NFT that works as a proof of work. So when somebody is trying to hire you, you can show them your collection of NFTs and say, yeah, I actually know how to use Anchor. I actually know how to use Pinocchio. I actually know how to use assembly. So yeah, pretty much the first thing that you want to do is go to start learning. Now, I naturally have a lot of these courses ready, but pretty much you'll be able to go through all the categories that are here. So if you want to, for example, create a smart contract, you probably want to see Anchor if it's your first starting point. If you're a little bit more advanced, you can probably just go into the native Rust section. Into the native Rust section, we focus mainly on Pinocchio and how to use native Rust library actually in smart contract development. If you don't need a smart contract, but you just, for example, need to interact with the token program, you can always go to the TypeScript section where we people how to use. A second, there is a little bit of an echo. Okay, now it's gone. Where we actually teach people how to use TypeScript for interacting, for example, with the normal token program, with the token 2022 program, pretty much everything that you need if you don't want to use smart contract. Last and for all, there is assembly. I don't think you guys should touch it if you are not really, really passionate about very, very low level languages, because assembly is pretty much the lowest level language that you can always learn. And so pretty much it's just like directly interacting with the validator, directly interacting with the lowest level of the program. And then we have some general guides that if you don't know anything about blockchain in general, I think it might benefit you, because, for example, we have an introduction to blockchain in Solana. And if we go see here, we'll see that, for example, there is an introduction, there is a blockchain fundamental, there is a blockchain evolution, there is an introduction to Solana, and everything that pretty much you need to know if you never heard about a blockchain. But at the same time, we have program security, we have how tokens works, how NFT works, and Solana, how Solana Pay works. This might be something that you guys want to look at. It's very, very comprehensive way of like creating Solana Pay application. And since in the hackathon you will ask to use Solana Pay, if you guys want to go ahead, I think this will be one of the great guide that you should look into. But actually, let's go back to Anchor, because we have different type of Anchor courses. The first one, we called it Anchor for Dummies, and I think this will be the starting point if you guys are looking to learn more about Anchor. Pretty much, it tells you exactly everything that it needs to know about Anchor. So how to install Anchor, how to use Anchor, how to create Anchor accounts, how to create Anchor instruction, how to test your program. And in the testing your program section, we have a ton of stuff. Like we have TypeScript tests, we have Rust tests, we have different type of TypeScript tests, we have running a local validator using SurfNet instead of the local validator. Pretty much you guys can just pick your poison and use it for testing. And thorough testing is actually really, really important. So this is something you guys need to pay attention when before going to DevNet or to mainnet. Same thing, there is program deployment. Here we're going to teach you how to, once you build the entire Anchor program, here we're going to teach you how you deploy it, how you test it, how you upload your IDL. And for anybody that doesn't know, pretty much an IDL is a way for other people to integrate your program in a very, very easy way. So instead of like searching for how an instruction is formed, they can just pull your IDL and look all the types there to call the instruction in a very, very easy way. Same thing for the client-side development. I think it's very, very important that you guys learn how to actually integrate your program with your website. And here there is everything you guys need to know about that stuff. We have both how to call instruction, how to set up accounts, how to send transaction with Anchor. Then we have like fetch and filter. So for example, once you create an account on chain, you might want to fetch that account to read the data when the user joined. And here is going to explain why. Then we have events and webhooks. I think like if you're just starting, probably you want to skip on that because it's quite of an advanced way of dealing with Anchor. But if you're interested in doing so, that section of the courses, I think it's pretty easy to understand. It's maybe a little bit harder to implement. And then we have an advanced Anchor that probably you guys don't want to look at it if you are not already experienced with like using Anchor. If we go back to the courses section, we see that most of the people will just use Anchor from scratch. So just using this introduction, this Anchor for Dummies. But a lot of people will want to use the SPL token program and the Token 2022 program with Anchor. And this is exactly what these two courses does for you. So if you're interested in learning more about Anchor, you go to the main page, and what you do is just like select Anchor and look at all the courses that are available there. One cool thing is like, we don't like to make learning passive. So it's just like, you might think that you understand everything that it was in this Anchor for Dummies, but if you go into the challenge section, you actually have the possibility of taking these small, very, very small challenges that actually gives you an NFT. Like for example, these. It's pretty good. So if you want to make sure that you understand everything that you learn about Anchor, you can just then move to the challenges, and each challenger actually explain very, very thoroughly everything that you need to do. So we have this beginner challenge that pretty much like gives you all the information about like building your first program that resemble a Vault. Then naturally we have a little bit of intermediate, and in the intermediate we don't explain everything. But if you did the Anchor for Dummies and you did the two beginner challenge, it will be pretty easy to fill the gap that we don't give you. So after you build your smart contract, you can drop it in here in the take challenge section. That doesn't work. Well, I can connect my wallet and I can drop my program into a box that will be there. And pretty much what happens under the hood is like our own server are gonna run some tests against your program. And after that, if all our tests are successful, you will be prompt to mint an NFT on mainnet. Does anybody have any question? Let me go back to it. The courses are, I saw a question that says, how do you get the courses? The courses are completely free. Everything that you see on blueshift.gg is completely free. You just like go to blueshift.gg. Maybe I'll send here the link. Let me actually copy it from here. If you go to learn.blueshift.gg, this is all completely available right now for everybody because it's completely free. So I guess so the it doesn't build with like for doing. So I see a challenge that it said, is the Blueshift build with code snippet? So you can't actually take challenges with just code snippet. You will need to build the entire program. And this is because this is like the purpose of a challenge. You build the entire program and then you send it. So it's not similar to what people think about Duolingo, that it's like, oh yeah, let's like just do small part and we're gonna validate small parts. It's more of like, yeah, this is like this is like everything that you need to know about this specific program, and you do it all, and then once you're done, you can send it to us for validation. Any other question? Come on, guys. I'm pumped to respond to question. I know there are a lot of learners in the chat. Or maybe Blueshift is so easy to use that nobody has any question, but I doubt so. So I didn't catch exactly why we needed to learn Anchor. So we need to learn pretty much, you don't need to learn Anchor, but there are pretty much two types of way to build on top of Solana. Maybe this morning in the lesson of this morning, you guys already saw that. But there are two different ways to build on Solana. The first one is to build just using programs that already exist, like the token program, the stake program, and whatever, all these programs that already exist. And you can just interact with the SDK using TypeScript. But if you want to build your own program with your own logic and not having to rely on a third-party program, you have to learn Rust. And the best way, in my opinion, to start learning Rust, like the Solana, we call, like between developers, we call it the Solana Rust, because it's not exactly native Rust, but it's very, very similar. To actually starting to learn how to build Solana program yourself, the first point should be always to go with Anchor, because Anchor is very, very easy. It abstracts away so many validation. It makes it so much easier to actually write Rust code. Then, in my opinion, it makes sense to start with that and then maybe progress into native Rust, because at that point you already know how the account system management works, all the instruction works, the account validation that you should do. Like once you are very, very familiar to how in general Solana works under the hood, you can actually move to some more free reign like native Rust. I don't need to know Rust before jumping right into Anchor, right? Or do I have to take a 2 days Rust? Naturally, knowing Rust, it's always better, just because it might be easier, might be faster to learn Anchor, but actually you don't need to. Like if you know how to code, then like most of the thing can even can even be vibe coded. So once you really understand what's going on under the hood, you can even like trying to help yourself with AI by filling the gaps that you know about Rust. Do you have any Rust courses before learning Anchor, or we should just jump into learning Anchor? Unfortunately, we don't have any Rust course. Maybe in the future, but at the moment we just focus on Solana. And so for that reason, we don't have any Rust courses to start it. But to be honest, what I did was I didn't know how to code Rust before starting with Anchor 3 years ago. Just jumped in. And at that point, the AI didn't even exist. So it was even harder. So you can, in my opinion, you can just jump into Anchor. Sorry, I'm a beginner. What's the difference between Rust and Anchor? Please explain. So Anchor under the hood uses Rust because every smart contract is written in Rust. The cool thing about Anchor is that it has a lot of, we can say, helpers. And what those helpers does, it actually makes it very, very easy to write on top of like Rust without actually knowing too much about Rust. Yes, go for it, Lanza.
GMU, good evening. I'm audible.
What, sorry?
I'm audible. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much for the session. I am asking this question from a hackathon standpoint, right? As a front-end developer, I looked through the client-side development module on Blueshift. Is it enough to be able to interact with the IDL that the smart contract engineer has written, or I need to take the anchor course from top to bottom, to properly be able to, work with the IDL? So I'm just trying to know if it's a prerequisite. Is it compulsory, or that client-side module is enough to kind of like handle that scenario?
So if you never written any Solana code, or like if you don't like, if you have not experienced in like Solana in general, I would advise to actually take the course from top to bottom. It's not that long. Like I can advise you that even if you like really, really squint and really, really like ponder every word, it will probably take you maximum 2 hours. But I think like in an half an hour, probably you will be good. Like it's just a starting point. Like it's not like it's not gonna be a lecture. It's gonna be everything that pretty much like me and Dean and like all the other contributor learn in 3 years condensed in there. So like you just need to read one time top to bottom and just like continue to reference stuff, because once you know where all the stuff are, it's very, very easy to actually get them. You can probably get away with just doing that part, but I would advise against it. Like I would advise you to really understand what you're what like how the smart contract developer work, and then help him integrate your stuff with your TypeScript stack.
All right, then. Thank you very much.
So, what else is the app used for apart from learning Anchor? You can learn everything. You can learn Rust, you can learn Anchor, you can learn like native Rust, you can learn TypeScript, you can learn pretty much everything that is like we have a lot of tools as well, like a showcase of a lot of tools. For example, Mollusk for testing, SurfNet for testing, and like Kodama to create your own SDK. You can pretty much like I think we aren't there yet that I can say you can learn everything about Solana on Blueshift, but you can learn most of the development stuff about Solana. And actually, the challenge part is pretty cool because you can actually test it if you understood everything that you learned from the courses. What's the best way to incorporate AI into the learning process? I don't think there is a answer to that. I think like everybody does it as they see fit. So one way that I do it is, for example, if I'm looking at a very, very difficult code base, I will just like put the code into the AI and like start asking questions. So it's like, why do we do this? Why do we do that? Why do we actually look like perform this type of operation instead of that? So it's just like the way that I use it is like every time I don't understand anything, I'll just ask AI, give them context and just like ask AI. Is there a learning path you naturally suggest for us on Blueshift platform, or do we just learn based on interest? At the moment, we don't offer a path. We are going to offer it in the next version of Blueshift, but I guess it's like it depends a lot on where you're starting. Naturally, it's like at the moment in the current way Blueshift works, it's going to be more of just like based on interest. But if it's like if you want to start your career in Web3, the way that I would do it is like introduction blockchain in Solana. Then I would do token on Solana, NFT on Solana. Then I would go through the TypeScript course. So the token with TypeScript, token 2022 with TypeScript, and then I would start the Anchor course and all the Anchor courses. Yes, thank you. Learn.blueshift.gg. It's fully free. Like everybody can just access it straight out the box. Any more questions? Are you guys excited about the hackathon? Let's go. Yeah, and if you guys have any tech question, I'm in the Solana in the Discord, in the Solana Student African Discord. But if I don't respond there, you can always join. You guys can always join the Blueshift.gg Discord. That is linked in our main page, and there is always like 10 or 15 people that answer questions every day. Cool. Anybody has any other question? Or we're just ready to use Blueshift to learn more? Let's go, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on board, Leo.
Cool. See you guys.
Yeah, so oh sorry, someone had a question, but you already left. Yes, so thank you everyone for joining today's evening class. And I hope we all learned something, one or two. I mean not just one or two, we learned 10 or 20. So let's make sure to post on Solana, post on Twitter, tag Solana Student Africa what you learned, a screenshot of your class. Yeah, just let the all know what we are doing and the amount of stuff you are learning from us. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for joining. Bye. Have a good day. See you tomorrow morning. Same time, same place. Bye.